Hello everyone. It is 3 p.m. over here, so I guess it's time to start. I hope everybody can hear me. So I have the chat here on my phone, so if you have questions, if you want more info about one of the projects, just pop them in the comments and then I can see what you're typing. Good morning, everyone. So, hello, Sylvia, Linda, KD, Carol. So many of you. Welcome. And for a lot of you, good morning. So, good morning. It is a little bit early over there, I guess. So it is already the afternoon here. Oh, so good to see you all popping up at this very spontaneous live video. So this is a video about the Tackle That WIP. But if you don't know what Tackle That WIP is, no problem. We're going to talk about work in progresses. So a lot of projects that are halfway done. So we're going to talk about that because I planned to record a video about this and then edit it and put it on YouTube today at the end of the first quarter of this year. But a lot happened here. We were sick for a few weeks and, well, I didn't film the video. So I thought, let's just do a live. So to tackle that WIP, let me first start by explaining what that is. Tackle That WIP is something that I started beginning this year. Basically, it means I made a few project trackers. So here you can track your quilting projects, and the other one is to track your other crafty projects. And the whole plan was to motivate each other to work on some unfinished projects because it's lovely to finish a project, right? So if you want to get these trackers and join the Tackle That WIP, that means you sign up for free with your email address. I send you some email every month about the project, about how you're doing, some tips and tricks, and you get these trackers for free. You can print them off yourself. You just go to sugarydoo.com/whips. So I'll put that in the chat, sugarydoo.com/whips. So if you want to sign up and join the next quarter, just go there. And also this weekend, there will be a blog post coming up at my blog. And if you joined the Tackle That WIP in the previous months and you made some progress, go in the comments of that blog post, let me know your progress, and there will be a small giveaway to one of you who joined in and shared your progress. And if you're on the Tackle That WIP mailing list and you shared your progress in the comment, then you have a chance to win. So if you want to join in next quarter, we will do a little giveaway every quarter. So sign up now and you can join in for the next one. Yes, so I will just scan through a question about the sliding design wall. Yes, it's awesome. There is indeed a video about that. Thanks. I will move it in a second when I show these projects, so then I can tell a little bit more about it. Yes, so let's just dive in. I think I'm going to start with the projects that I finished. So I did an update on my WIPs in at the end of last year. So here is some progress. This quilt is finished. It is a giraffe quilt that I made for our little girl Ella, who turned 2 this week. So this is finished. It's all quilted and bound with a happy, scrappy binding. So that is a first finish. The pattern for this one and also a few kits are left, and the pattern is on my website. So the pattern for the ABC and the giraffes. So we'll just show it again because I like it so much. These cute little faces of the giraffes. Giraffes is it, I think. Yeah, so a few kits for these left. Oh, ja.
Ja,
Sorry.
Ik kan er een beetje een grapje uit halen dat van papa dat ik dan tegen papa zeg, wil je een kopje koffie? Ja, en dan wil jij weer even voor papa koffie maken?
Ja.
En ik wil wat zout bij. En nu papa gaat papa het opdrinken.
Dat is een goed idee.
Hij mag, en dan zeg ik 1 april, kikkerikmeel.
Is goed, ik wil dit merkje. So sorry for that. He just came in telling that tomorrow is April 1st, April Fool's Day, right? So he had a April Fool's joke all figured out for my husband. Really wanted to tell that. Yeah, sorry, distracted. So yeah, the giraffe quilt. There's a pattern and there's kits. So that is a finished one. And then I have another finished quilt. This one I started years and years ago. And I made it with a foundation paper piecing block that I've never really worked out, but it was fun to make. Some of my firstly bought fabrics, and I finally put a binding on it. I quilted it last year, and now I put a binding on it, so it's done. So another finish, a project off my list. And then another finish, which is a really special one. It's not a quilting project, but I'm very proud of it. It's cross stitching. And my grandmother loved cross stitching. She can't cross stitch anymore now, and my mom also loved cross stitching, loves cross stitching, but doesn't do it as much anymore. And I also love it. And my grandmother started with this one, and then my mom took over, and then I took over, and it's finally done. So I think this is a work in progress of maybe 20 years. My grandmother couldn't even remember that she worked on this, but it's done. So I think it's perfect to hang in Ella's room. So I will definitely make sure that this one gets framed in a nice frame, and that we give it a nice spot in our home, because 3 generations of my family worked on this, so it's a special one. Yeah, so those are the finishes. Those are the things I finished, and also there are a few projects for my book that were on here and I finished, but I can't show you them yet because they're for my book. So then finishing, the final step is putting on a binding, and we have this one in that category. So the category of it only needs a binding, it's this one. And this, a lot of you will know it. It is the quilt from the first Sugar Do Bernina quilt along. And I finally finished quilting it completely. So this one still needed to be quilted. There is already another one that's hanging at Bernina in Switzerland, but this one still needed to be finished. So now it only needs a binding. But I'm really happy that it's already this far. Now I need to decide on what type of binding to put on. There we go. So this needs a binding. Then let's see. Then I guess we have the pile of it only needs quilting. This one I started quilting. I don't know if I've shown this before in the last update, but it is an arrow quilt pattern that I'm still needing to put up in my shop. And this is the mini version. I will show you the bigger version in a second. And I started quilting with kind of match stitching. So very close together and then around the arrows. So yeah, that gives a really lovely effect, especially for a pillow because it's becoming to be quite stiff. But it's also a lot of work, but it's fun to do. So this is typically something that needs to be next to my sewing machine, next to my Q16, so I can work on it every now and then. So yeah, just needs finishing quilting. Oh well, I will just look through the comments. There we go. Yeah, a little boy coming into the video. Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh is sweet. Thank you so much. Carol Ann, where were you during the quilt along? It was quite a long time ago. It was a row along quilt along, and I really loved it. So maybe we should just do it again sometime. Maya says hers should also still be quilted. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, and really nice that the quilt is hanging at Bernina, Switzerland. How cool is that? Yeah, great. So here are two more quilts. Quilt along quilts. So I have finished already one of my 1, 2, 3 quilt along quilts, but I have two more. And yeah, so the quilt tops were done quite fast. I had also help from testers, but these still aren't quilted yet. And I'm thinking of putting these at my Q16 so that whenever I want to try out a new quilting pattern for a quilt, that I can try it out inside a tree. Then it will be kind of a practice piece for new quilting designs. And I will gradually finish these. So this is the one with blues and greens, and this is the one with yellows and oranges and pinks. So some trees are quilted and other trees still need to be done. Yeah, so still need to be quilted. And when you want to do this in one go, it's quite a lot of work. But I guess when you do one tree every now and then, it's very manageable. So yeah, this doesn't really have a lot of priority for me, so I will just put it next to my Q60 and then we'll see when it's done. So those three are the only ones that I have now that are ready to be quilted. And I think in a previous update, I had a lot more that needed quilting. So I did quite some quilting, I think, over the last few months. Then the next category is finished quilt tops. So that need basting, and there's only one. That is this one. It was just an experiment of some piecing, and I think I will turn this into a baby quilt with some cute flannel on the back. I have a lovely teddy bear flannel for the back, and then it's kind of a modern baby quilt blankie project. So yeah, that could be a quick finish with a nice straight line quilting pattern maybe. But yeah, that needs to be basted and then quilted. Mariska says, I love the backing in the green 1, 2, 3 quilt. What fabric is that? Do you sell it? Let me see. Yes, that is a really cool backing. I can show you. Here we have some backing fabric. It is this one. There we go. Oh, here I have one. This one is opened up already, It is a double white backing, so it's a really nice big one. It is fabric by Sassafras Lane, and I love it. It's really white, so double white backing. And you have all the colors in there. So this is the yellow, orange, that goes over to red. But then at the other side, you also have the purple, blue, green. So all the colors are in there. It's nice and geometric designs, quite neutral, but still a lot of fun. And this is in my web shop. So it is fabric by Sassafras Lane, and it's called Head in the Clouds. So a lovely double white backing. Linda already has that backing. It is so cute. Yes, it is. I have two more double white backings that I really like. Ooh, these are heavy. And these are by Chula Pink, but I still need to put those in the web shop. So those are not in there yet. But these are all double white. So if you have a bigger quilt, this is wonderful to work with. Let me put that away. Let's see. Where were we? Yeah, so finished. Then the next category is need to be turned into a quilt top, right? Yes, so here is that category. Let's see. Oh, well, I have one over here. That needs a binding. So this one is my Let's Play quilt. I do have some kits of that, and the pattern. And the pattern is, I think it's really fun. The pattern is only this square. So that is the whole pattern. It's one block. You can better see it over here. And when you use it, the colors in a fun way, then you get these little pinwheels. So it's a fun one if you have a fabric that you really want to show. So I used the little children's fabric by, I never know how to pronounce her name, Amkel. So it really shows off that fabric, and then it's still a fun block because you have the pinwheels. And that one needs a binding. And I just got in new binding fabric, so a lot of stripy fabrics. And I think I'm going to put on a yellow stripy or orange stripy fabric, something like that. Karina says, I like it. Can you buy the pattern only? Yes, for sure. Yeah, that should be in my web shop. When the live is over, I will put in some links in the description. But the pattern is called Let's Play. So that should be in the web shop, shoobydo.com. Yes, so these needs to be turned into a quilt top. And here I have arrows. It's the same as I had in my previous update video. These are the bigger ones compared to the mini arrows that I have over here. So this is the mini version. This is the bigger version. And my testers sewed a lot of arrows for me. So these are going to be 2 quilts. And it's going to be a lovely gradient, rainbow gradient throughout the whole quilt. It's going to be a fun one, but I do need to put it together. And I'm going to do that after I finished everything for my book. So the book making has now the priority. And I'm going to launch this pattern after I hand over everything for my book. So that's that. And this also belongs to the arrows. So I have a lot of fabric pattern pieces, and I have some blocks in darker gray, all arrow stuff. in here. Then I have another version of this quilt pattern, and that is with Tula Pink fabrics. So I had this lovely bundle of Tula Pink fabrics. It's a little bit messy right now, but here you can get an idea of the colors. And I had a little charm pack, or what is it? Layer cake? Not sure. But these fabrics, I love the colors. And then I brought the bundle home, and then I noticed that the pattern in the fabrics were quite big. And normally I work with a lot of solids and a lot of small prints. And these prints are, well, some of them are quite big, so I didn't really know what to do with it. And then I decided to go for this pattern. And I'm making it in blocks like this. So it looks a little bit different. Because I turned it around. So I didn't do this in white, but I did it in color. And then the inside of the pinwheels is going to be in color as well. So it is really nice and colorful, but the white will tone it down a little bit. So I can use up all the crazy prints and patterns, the crazy prints and colors in this, but the white will just quiet it down a little bit. So I sewed already quite some blocks with this. And yeah, I have no clue when I'm going to work on it again. Also, this one is paused until my book is done. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. I just cut a lot of the shapes, and then I'm just throwing them, mixing, matching, and seeing what works. And I also have no plan or strategy for the layout. So it's just going to be a happy color quilt. There are already quite a lot of blocks, more than I thought I had. Yeah, so fun project. And something else than this one. So the quilt will look different because all the pinwheels that you see here, so the orange part here, for this quilt it will be white. So that will just give it a different feel, but with the same pattern. Yeah, so let's see. I also have a chat over here. This is just what I needed to get motivated to finish my quilt. Yes, finish quilts. That's awesome. Yeah, Carol asks if the arrows are paper beast. Yes, the arrows are paper beast, and also these ones are paper beast. So, and the arrows are also perfect to do with freezer paper method, because then you can reuse a pattern. Because you iron it on instead of stitching through the paper. So that's perfect when you want to make a lot of arrows. Yeah, it is a really fun one to do. So I hope I can have it in the shop soon. Yeah, so I also love that you can use one pattern in different ways. So that's a fun one. This one is also in the category needs piecing and needs making. So it's not anywhere near done. And that's this one. I am making the pattern by Elizabeth Hartman, Fabulous Farm. It has a lot of farm animals, which I love, and my kids love. So that is also where the sunflowers came from. And I finished a few goatees, and another one in orange, really cute, and another one in blue. And then here we have a little strawberry and 2 sheep, orange sheep and a blue sheep. So that is a fun project that really has nothing to do with my business, besides that it's quilting, of course, but this is really for fun, for hobby. Yeah, so really enjoying this if I need to take my mind off of business stuff. And the fun thing I did for this was go to a different quilt shop and buy fabrics. So these colors are different than the color palette that I use a lot for my work normally, or that I have on my shelves. And it was really fun to go into a quilt shop with a friend of mine and pick out fabrics for this project. It was a lot of fun. So here is the color combinations that are going to be in this quilt. So it was really nice. It might sound crazy because I have a lot of fabrics over here, but picking out something completely, well, not completely different, it's still colorful and happy, but something different for a change was really fun. So this is going to go in this box, and I'll just keep the sunflowers out here because it's so happy and fun. So that is that. Mariska asked, is the arrow pattern on my website? Not yet. So that one is not completely finished. So yeah, I need to finish that. But first want to finish all the writing of the chapters for my book. And then I have 3 projects that I call my unfinishable projects for now, because they're either a block of the month or a round robin. So I will be working on that for a long time. And that is this one. So here are 2 projects combined. This one is a round robin that I'm doing with my mom, and at the moment I have them both over here. What we did for that was we once went to a wholesale and saw a bundle by Zen Chic from Moda. I thought, oh, that's fun. Maybe we can do a round robin together. So this is also a different kind of style of which I would normally use. And we both bought the same bundle. And then the idea is that we both started with one block, and then we just exchange it. We sew something to it, or sew a little block, and then give that block. So we said we don't make a whole round around the round robin every time. So we don't really add a border. But this one, for example, this is from my starter block. So I started with, let me see, I started with this. So this was the first thing I gave to my mom, and then she made this block and didn't sew it to my starter block yet. So I decided to put some fish in between, and now she added this one. So it is growing and growing. And now I have to figure out what to add to it. But I also could decide we work in 3, 6, 9, 12-inch sizes. So I could also say I'm making a few 3x3-inch blocks and then give it back to her, and maybe she will put some sashing between or add a few more 3x3-inch blocks and then add a border to this side. So it's really fun and not too many rules involved project. And the one here below, my mom started with this house, and then I added this one, and then she added this one, and then, well, now these parts are separate, and I need to figure out a way to put it together. So it's a very fun project to work on together. Yeah, but I haven't decided yet what I'm going to add. So that's kind of an unfinishable project because I don't know how big it's going to be or how long we're going to work on this. Then the other unfinishable thing is this one. And this is going to be a rainbow gradient sampler quilt. This is the layout. So this is kind of a size. It's going to be 84 by 60 inches. And this is a block of the month from our Dutch Modern Quilt Guild. So if you're in the Netherlands and want to join a very fun block of the month, and you can sign up to become a member of the Dutch Modern Quilt Guild. And then you can join in with the block of the month. So each quarter we are doing a different technique. And the last 3 months we did foundation paper piecing. And now the new theme still has to be released for April. And then we will be working 3 months on a new theme. So these are the blocks for January. January and February. And I still need to make the one for March. Yeah, and I'm using, I just put it in this box. Let's see what's in here. Some embroidery cross stitch fabric. I am working with my whole collection of Sassafras Lane fabrics. So a very rainbowy project it's going to be. And these fabrics were just laying in my stash, and I didn't really do a lot with it. And it's really fun to finally cut in and really make something with it. Yeah, so this is going to be a whole sampler, but I will be at least working on this for at least a year, I guess, because in December we will get the final block. And then it needs to be quilted and binded. Bound, put a binding on it. Then the final quilt project that I have lying around. This is not really a unfinishable project for now, but it is a hand stitching project, and I just work on it every now and then for a period of time. So I have no clue when this is going to be finished or how big it's going to be. It is my Manx blocks. I'm having a lot of fun making them. And there is a ton of options. There are a ton of options to make this, to make the layout for this. I'm definitely going to make a video about that because there are so many options that you could go for. And yeah, I'm just having fun mixing low volume fabrics with fabrics that I'm also using in my book. So this is not a pattern that's going in my book. I did write I think I did a blog post on this. Yeah, so, but these colors are the fabrics that I'm using a lot in my book. So a lot of blocks, and yeah, a lot of more blocks to make if I want to make it into something that will fit over our bed, because I thought that would be a nice idea. But I think that will take me maybe 3 more years to make something like that big. We'll see. We'll see. I also don't know yet how I'm going to join these. I don't want to join them all by hand, but haven't decided yet how I could do that by machine. Maybe it's going to be kind of a rack quilt. But yeah, so this is one of the 3 projects that are not going to be finished anytime soon. Let me see what's done on my table left here. Oh wait, I will just go through the comments. Oh, thanks. Oh, Sylvia says, maybe if all my whips get done, I'll do Elizabeth Hartman. It's on my list. It is so wonderful. It's my first Elizabeth Hartman big project, and I'm having a lot of fun. I also have one project on my list of when I have enough done, then I get to do that one. Let me see if I have it here. Found it. Yes, so this is on my list. If I have finished enough, I will do this one. So this is the Zootropolis by Sassafras Lane, Zootropolis number 2. And there are a lot of animals in here, and it's all applique. So this will be such a fun one to do. My mom has the Zootropolis 1 book, and it's a really fun one. a really fun one. It was gifted to me when I went to market, and I met Sassafras Lane for the first time. So yeah, I really want to make this, but I am not allowing myself to start on it just yet. I really want to enjoy this one and have the time to work on it. I have one more quilty kind of project over here, and that is this one. Do you recognize this stuff? Maybe if you've made an by Annie bag before, you recognize it. But this is a soft and stable material that you can put inside a bag. And when I was at market, by Annie gifted me a pattern for, is it this one? I think it's even a bigger bag than is shown here. Oh, here it is. It is the Tools of the Trade pattern. And yeah, a huge bag where you can put in your cutting mat and all your supplies. And they gifted me everything to make it. So zippers, mesh, and I have cut up all the fabrics, all the lining, everything is cut up. But then I was pretty intimidating, to be honest. Intimidated by, I'm not so intimidating, I think. I was pretty intimidated by so many pieces. So I have cut everything. This is a color scheme that I'm going for with my bag. So I have a little egg fabric here, and then a kind of greenish teal and a yellow. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be awesome to have a bag like this, especially for when I go on a quilting retreat or something. But it's a lot of pieces, so I will make it, and I will probably make it into a video on a review on how it went, but I haven't started sewing yet. Have you ever made a by Annie bag? I would love to hear what you think about it, and if you've already finished it. Oh, I've already been talking for almost 3/4 now. So to finish off, because those were all my quilting projects, so that's everything. A lot of almost finished things, and yeah, quite a list. And then here I have a list of other type of projects, and on that list are a few knitting and crochet projects. So here is a red panda that I'm crocheting, and this was in the category of almost done. It just needed stripy trousers. But then my kids played with it. I was going to give this away to Sanne, who helped me in the studio, but then my kids started playing with it, and as you can see, he lost an eye. And this is a safety eye, so you cannot put a new eye on there from the outside. So I don't know yet what I should do, if I should make a new one or if there is a way to fix the eye. So well, this one is just waiting to be really finished. And then, but he's very patient, so he's not complaining. Then I have a knitting project that's almost done. It's really almost done. Just needs a few rows. But the thing is with this one, every row that I stitch takes half an hour. So it is a really long scarf with a nice gradient in it. So I just need a few more rows and then it's done. So I'll take this with me to craft fair in Germany this weekend, and we'll see if I can finish it in the car or in the evenings. And then the last project that I'm going to share you for today is a knitting project, which is a lot of fun to make. Yeah, it is this one. It was, I did a workshop with my mom to learn how to do this kind of knitting technique. And then this scarf was a knit along. yeah, a knit along actually for 2 pillows, I believe. And then I thought, well, I'll make the rows shorter and turn it into a scarf because that will be less work. But then, of course, you need to make a scarf pretty long, so it's more work than 2 pillows, I think. Yeah, so wonderful technique to do and lovely to use so many colors. I have a big box with tiny balls of yarn in all kinds of colors. Yeah, but will take a while to finish because I think I'm halfway done, maybe. Yeah, so that is the final project for today. Let me see. What do we have here? Oh, Deborah says she made a couple of the salad tomato purses. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. And Carol loves the Annie patterns. Yeah, a lot of pieces. Mariska says, are they quilt fabrics or a little heavier? No, they are quilt fabrics. I assume that I could make it with quilt fabrics. And there is some stabilizer or the stuff that you can iron on that makes the fabric more stable. Yeah, I guess stabilizer. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on the fabric. Oh, that is a fun idea. Maybe you can make the fox a pirate and put an eye patch on him. Would you like that? Could be. Could finish it like that. Maybe city eye and put away the other safety eye too. Yep, could also do that. That's quite a good option, I think. Or maybe just cut this off and get 2 sew-on plastic eyes. And then it's also fixed. Oh, that's nice because it's not going to a kit, so it doesn't need to be a safety. That's really, thanks. That's a good suggestion. Ooh, and an idea to make a loop instead of a scarf. For this one, I guess, if I can make it into a loop, that would be nice. Then I'm already done. Oh, I love your ideas. I'm really going to think about this. That would make it finished. Awesome idea. The bottom is closed, but that's okay. Can figure that out how to do that. I really love that. That is genius. Oh. Yes, make him a pirate. Sanne, yes, make him a pirate. Could think about that. And outrageous says bags by Annie have many steps, but the instructions are easy. That's good to hear. Thanks for the encouragement. Yeah, I think it would be a lovely bag. And at the end of the year, we always have a quilting retreat, so it's a good deadline to have it finished by that. Thanks so much for joining in this live Q&A. No, not really Q&A. Show and tell. And Michael says, maybe take some black yarn and sew the eyelash so it looks like it's winking. That's also a cute idea. We'll see. I think indeed that I don't need to make a new one, but we can fix this. We can fix you, buddy, and then put some pants on, and then it's ready to go. So thanks everyone for joining in. It was lovely to show you everything again. And make sure to check out sugardoo.com/whips if you're not already signed up for the Tackle That WIP movement. And if you're on the Tackle That WIP mailing list, you will get an email soon on how to join in for the giveaway of this quarter to do your quarterly checkup on checkup on your WIPs. Thank you so much for joining. I had a lovely time. And I hope you did too. Well, see you soon. I'm going to end the stream from here. Bye, everyone.